Today, we're going to talk about this test bench because it's really, if you're going to do EV conversions, this is something you want. It makes your life easy. I just woke up one day and I was like, I got an idea. Make my life simple. So I drew up the bench, I made it. So many times I would test the motor in the car, and if something didn't work, it's like you pull it out, you put it back in. This way, you test it before it even goes in. You know it works. A motor comes in that I bought, I can always just spin it really quickly and make sure it's okay. This particular one is set up so I can use open inverter. This side of the board is wired for open inverter, so I can just put my drive unit up here, plug it in, boom, test it. This side of the board is set up for T2C and Dynam. I can plug in their unit. I have these kind of two generic plugs, and I can plug into this for the Model 3. So this goes to the Model 3. As you can see, Model 3 has different connections. This is for a small drive unit, just a single plug. Large drive unit has two plugs, one for the end and one for the position sensor. And then I have another set here. This is for testing chargers. This is for the Gen 2 charger, and it has its two ports there, so I can test chargers. These little twisted pairs, this is CAN bus. And so also, if there's an issue, I can plug in my scope and I can see the CAN, I can see the messages and see if things are working. So this is just another diagnostic to figure things out. I also have it so I can swap pedals. This is for a pedal from a Model S, but when I'm doing a 3, I have to use the 3 pedal. You can't interchange pedals, so that just plugs right in there. This is a Prius pedal, which works really well with the open inverter board, so I have that mounted and ready to go. The bench has 400 volts of batteries underneath. This is from a BMW i3. You know, small electric car, it's not a huge pack, but it's 400 volts and it's ready to test. Here's my 12 volt here. I can plug in the 400 volts. There's a place to plug in the charge port, and there's another one that can come up here to connect the motors. And I have a full set of big cables down here that I can plug in for all the different motors. They have matching plugs either for the Model 3, large drive unit, small drive unit. Boom, all ready to go. I can test motors and that'll drain my battery down a little bit, and then I can test the charger and I can charge it back up. So everything happens here on the bench. And anything else that comes in here, all I do is make a harness and have it come into this panel. So this is the control panel end, and I've tried to keep it simple. The left side here is for open inverter. The right side over here is for T2C, and then this little corner here is just for testing Gen 2 chargers. So I have the controls here, and you know, they all work a little differently. So you can turn this one on. The open inverter, you have a start button, and then you can play with forward and reverse, but you also have to hit your brake before you change direction. So you can, it's just like you're in the car. And you can do a good test. This switch is because the systems don't work exactly the same. So the open inverter uses a low side switching on the contactors, where T2C does high side switching. So by flipping that switch, it rewires the contactors so that they work with each system. And of course on T2C, there's two different brakes. There's the brake for the Model S, but then the brake in the Model 3 is different. So they are wired in differently. Same thing, you know, you're gonna have to put it in, you know, hit your brake before you go in your different directions. So that gives me the controls. And then this is for the Gen 2 charger. There's power and enable, but it also needs coolant. It doesn't like running without coolant. So we also have a coolant pump down below with a small reservoir of coolant. On this unit, I have two readouts. This is the 12 volt battery. This is pack voltage. That's also so I can see where the pack voltage is at and see if it's correct or not. I keep the fuses within the panel, so if anything goes wrong, I would see a little flash or hear a click, or I can also look into them very quickly, because these go to all the different systems in the T2C, because it has 4 different fuses. The open inverter has a single fuse and they share that one, but within the systems I have the fuses, and they're here so that they're easy to see. In case something fails, boom, you can check it right there. Some of the vehicles that come in here for repairs and rehashes, I've gone to the site of the companies and I've seen how they're just a jumble of wires, like sitting on the floor doing a test. It's like, it's way better when things are repeatable. Like I know when I plug this in that the wires are all good and it's gonna work. It's repeatable, easy testing. I don't have mounting points for the motors. I just use a strap because there's so many different motors that I put on here. This way I can test things before they go in the car, When they need programming, it all happens here, which is great. Once it goes in the car, I know it's working, it's ready to go. Every conversion shop needs a test bench. This one I've made so that it's really simple, it's pretty self-explanatory. I made sure I labeled things, I make it so you can't plug it in wrong. And so that's how you do it. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you found this useful. Like and subscribe. Write me, let me know your thoughts, and if you have questions, put them in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.